help us an opportunity to make some extra coins, baby. Hey views, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, hi, welcome back. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you care. Even if you don't care, just do it, because why not? So today we're doing a story time. It's going to be about my shady business partner. I'm going to be giving you guys a little backstory on how we met and how we winded up doing business together. I'm putting that in air quotes because it was not really business. I ended up being swindled, I feel like, because I was not really compensated for my time, no efforts, but that will come later in this video. Just a quick disclaimer, the glass that I'm holding here is a glass of white wine, darling, because I need something to keep my mouth moist. I know some of you guys don't like that moist word, but anyway, so let's get into it. How we met with this person was we attended a real estate class together. We wrote the exams in the same year, which was in 2019, I think. 2019, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, November of 2019. So we were attending the same lecturers or tutor. It was the same person that was giving us a class. We're in a group. So after that, he got my number from the group, I think, that we were, because there was a group created where we would communicate and ask questions if you needed to, and so on and so forth, right? So after we had written the exams, we both passed, and one night I just received a call, and I was wondering who it was because the number was obviously not saved in my phone, and he said his name. It's calling. We were attending the same real estate classes and whatnot. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I asked him why he had taken my number from the group, and I was just like, no, I seemed like an interesting person. Apparently that line is sort of old, you know. So he was just like, yeah, no, you seem like you're a smart person and I would like to do business with you in the future and whatnot. And at that time I had explained to him, because with one of my friends, we have this other business where we do business registration and designs and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay. I explained to him, had he needed any of our services, he could contact me and we could help him out. And he put himself forth as a business person and somebody that was interested in doing business. So I was just like, okay, cool. So I was like, yes, sure thing. We can keep in contact, and should you need our services, just let me know, right? And then yeah, several months passed and he contacted me once again. He said he had a business proposal. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Let me know. And then he was like, okay, no, I still haven't got my things in order, my ducks in a row yet. I'll contact you once I have my ducks in a row and whatnot. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll be waiting, right? And a few months went by again. So this time around, I contacted him. Because I was like following up, you know, there might be some money there, just so he doesn't forget. And then he will be like, oh, I like doing business. I mean, I like that I will be in business with you, because you know, not many ladies are interested in doing business. Most ladies are just interested in, like, you know, living the soft life and whatnot. I was like, you surely haven't met the ladies in my circle, but whatever, just let me know when you're ready, okay? Oh, guys, sorry. Can I just say this wine tastes so good? So friggin' delicious. Let me just skip all these semantics. Eventually he contacted me and he was like, yeah, we should have a meeting tomorrow. I'll pick you up at this time in the morning and I'll give you the ins and outs of what the business is going to be about. Okay. And I was like, yeah, sure, I've been waiting for a long time. Just give me the time and I'll be ready for you to pick me up and we can have this meeting and get things moving. Next morning, that's what he did. He came to pick me up an hour late. Let me emphasize on that, because this is a trend apparently. You should pay attention to these things when you're about to get into business with someone. Anyway, so the next morning he came later than the time that he said, but I was like, you know what, it's fine. It's just a meeting, the first meeting anyway, so it shouldn't really be a big deal. We went to a mall, we ordered some food and a drink, And then he explained to me what it is that we were going to be doing and what my part will be. And I was like, yeah, okay, it doesn't sound that complicated, because me, I'm up for a challenge. I like challenges. I love to be challenged and I love taking on new ideas. I love learning new things. So I took him on. And after that, after the meeting, we went to the supplier, was supplying the products that we're going to be using, decided on the name of the company and slogan. And that very first day, we already started designing like how the logo was going to be looking like, and the business cards. Not necessarily, yeah, the business cards with like information of what we do and whatnot. I was like, okay, I love committed people, you know, I love people who get things done. I invest my time, my effort, if I see that the partner is putting in the same energy. If they don't put in the same energy and everything is leaned on me, there's only so long that I can fork out my energy and my time to compensate for their lack of input. Next time we met up, we created the social media platforms and all those goodies. We got everything moving. And not so long after that, we had gotten, you know, that same day when we were busy learning our things like our logos and our flyers and stuff, we got our first client. At that time it was around festive season, so the business was not really hectic because most people were gone on holiday, they're gone for their, like, you know, festive seasons, and they're not really that many clients that we could fork in. So we were just like, okay, we got things moving. I got to render that service for the first time, and I was like, oh, okay, this doesn't seem so bad, and I'm definitely up for it. Quick side note, most of the time I think many men think that women can do a job that men do, and when we're rendering this particular service to our first client, there were a lot of men seated where we were offering this service or rendering this service, and they saw me. I'm a female, right? And it was hot as hell, scorching hot. I was standing there in the sun doing my thing, and you know, a lot of men were impressed. They were like commenting and whatnot. I was just like, baby, money, okay? I'm doing this for the money, honey. Oh yeah, it's so bad. I sound like, no, I will not do anything for money, but I'll do a lot of things for money. Okay. From then on, it was very slow, but we started picking up a little bit. Things started getting strange, and might I add, most of the clients that we were getting at that point were my clients that I have spoken to, that I have convinced to take our services, and they were taking our services, and when they were happy with the service rendered, they'll refer their friends and stuff. So affiliate, sort of like affiliated to my clients that are brought in, or my clients that came directly from me. So I was like, okay, I'm bringing in business. Mind you, I never got a penny, not a single cent, not a $1. Granted, when he came to me, he had already bought most of the equipment, right? For me to invest capital, I don't really mind, but as long as I'm told beforehand what it is that will require, so I can like get my coins together and you know, pump it into the business as well. But other than that, you can't just wake up tomorrow morning and say, I need this couple of $1,000 so we can pump it into the business. It doesn't work like that, let alone if I didn't sign a contract. Okay, but we'll get into the contract issue a little bit later. I want the services to be rendered up to par. It must be excellent, everything must be, you know, perfect. I had went to a dealership, pitch our business and whatnot, and I communicated it through to my partner. He was supposed to show up on that scheduled date and show slightly what it is that we will be rendering to this dealership, right? He never showed up, and then he calls me days later and said like, no, he couldn't make it because he had to travel. Can you imagine the embarrassment for me, right? If I say I'm going to do something, I better do it, because if I don't, I'll I'll never ever be able to face these people who I told I was going to do something, especially with regards to business, right? If you cannot deliver, do not agree to it, because your reputation is going to tank down. So I didn't really take kindly to that. Number one, he didn't communicate. He was not able to go and make the schedule as appointed. And number two, you only communicate days later. And number three, you want me to go back there and request for the meeting that you could not make. It doesn't work like that. So I told him, no, I will not be going there. If you want to go there, you go there yourself. I went through a lot of trouble to get that day for you, and you were supposed to show up. He doesn't really work 9 to 5, and I have a morning job 9 to 5, so I'm not really able to move around much during the week, and let alone during the morning. Most of the tasks that were supposed to be done while I was in the office, he was supposed to take care of that. This meeting was missed. I was like, okay, I was a little disappointed, not a little, I was hella disappointed, but I got over it because I was like, okay, I'm going to be working with this person, so I'll let it slide, you know. First mistake, whatnot. Second mistake that I should have paid attention to was our first high profile client, and this was my boss. So when you deliver a service, it's supposed to be on par, especially to people that are going to be bringing you more money, right? You know what this person does? I had given him the date and time on which the client agreed. The next day he says, oh, I thought they cancelled. I was so, that day I was really pissed with him. I could have committed, homicide, but let me not go there because, your child is not trying to implicate herself. How in the hell do you think that the schedule was cancelled or the appointment was cancelled when the client didn't communicate that? Even if the client is quiet, you make sure you turn up to the place that you're supposed to turn up at the time that you're supposed to turn up, and see, unless the client communicates. And personally, you don't assume an appointment is cancelled just because someone is not responding to their text. Maybe the phone is off, you don't know, right? So the next day, at the time that he was supposed to show up, he comes several hours late. Can you imagine that? The embarrassment. And I'm the one that is having to communicate with the client as to why someone is late, making excuses, and I was so pissed, honestly. Then I started getting suspicious was I started like asking, because this is something that let me just stress this. Let me stress this into your heads, people. If you're about to get into business with someone else, these are the first things that you should get done. This was my mistake, right? I should have known better, I should have done better, but let my mistake be your lesson. First thing you do, let me just quickly take a sip. First thing you do when you're getting into an agreement with someone, first thing, make sure that a contract is set up. A contract is set up, and you get your witnesses, let them sign, let you sign, and make sure you know where your position is exactly. Make sure you know what your percentage is and what you will be getting. So this way you will know how much time and the effort that you're going to be investing in this business, okay? Make sure that you agree on a percentage that you're going to be getting. Very important. Make sure that there is a contract signed so you're not swindled out of your hard work, especially if it involves money. No matter how little you think the money might be, just make sure this is in order. I first asked him when we were going to be signing the contract on the very first day, and then he was just like, no, I'll be typing it, you know, and then later on, every time I followed up on the contract, and then I asked him also, what will my percentage, what will my shares be? So since I'll also be investing on this much time and I'll be managing the social media, and plus I'm bringing in the clientele, honey, what will my percentage be? He was just like, no, I'll have to get back to you on that because I'm not really good with numbers. I have to consult someone. I was like, okay, cool, fine, you do your thing. Just make sure you get back to me with how much I'm getting, honey, because I'm not about to work for free. Ironically, I work for free. Shoot me, right? Anyway, so it just kept going on and on and on. My percentage, he wouldn't tell me what my shares were. He will just keep on pushing the contract signing back and back, bringing me excuses every time. And worst of all, he will start adding services, right, to the business without consulting the partner. How do you do such a thing? You know, I don't get it. You start making changes, doing things, just shady things like behind closed doors, and I'll just have to find out when he posts about it, or when I ask what's going on, and he'll just be like, oh, by the way, you know. So I was just like, something doesn't add up, right? And then he wanted to borrow some money from me. I first borrowed him money, but the money that I borrowed him, I was willing to lose. But now, just because out of spite, I'm asking him to give me that money back. And he wanted to borrow some more money from me, and I was just like, nigga, with the way you are acting, the way you are carrying yourself right now, without having a contract signed. First of all, I'm not going to inject money into this business if you're not having me sign a contract that I have shares in this business, I have the right to this business, and I have the right to the profit that this business will be making, right? So I was just like, no, no. When I refused to borrow him that money, he was just like, yeah, I think you are insecure because you didn't really inject money in the business, and because I'm the one who invested most of the capital in the business. But I was like, yeah, you can have your capital. If you don't have clients, you won't be making money, honey. And most of the clients, let me say like 99% or 98% of the clients were coming from me. So it doesn't really make sense that you are not getting me to sign a contract and you want some more money from me, honey. That's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. So after that, he started behaving strange. And there was even a time I got him a client. Someone said they wanted vouchers, right? And I created the vouchers. You know how much time it takes to design those things? A lot, okay? It takes a lot of time. And I designed those vouchers. I sent it through to him. Unfortunately, my grandmother passed, so I had to travel out of the city, and I left everything onto his hand. And he's calling me days later to give him the client's contact details so they can do the voucher. And that special that we had intended to create, the date had already passed. I was just like, how do you conduct yourself like that? And it was not just that, many things like showing up with a generator that doesn't have fuel, and how do you expect to use? If you are advertising yourself as you don't use the clients anything, then you should show up without using the clients anything, because that also just plays a role on your reputation, you know. So I was just like, boy, bye. I just stopped putting effort into the business. I just stopped investing my time into the business. Also, I just stopped communicating with him because I've had it up to here. So I was like, nah, this is not going to work for me. If I'm going to continue with this thing, I'm just going to be stressing and it's not worth my time. So I never got a dime for that. And that is more than 3 months of my life wasted to shits. Well, not completely wasted, because now I have a new business idea, because I know if I have a capital, I know I have clients, so I can just snatch it anytime I want. And you might say this, but yes, boo, I can snatch it anytime. I'm not going to be saying that I didn't learn anything completely, because I did learn a thing or two, and I did learn what it is that you should be expecting from, and when to work at when somebody is being shady. You should believe that, you know. Anyway, moral of this story, I guess, is just make sure that everything is in order when you're entering into a partnership with someone. Make sure there is a contract that is signed and certified by a witness, because then you can drag their ass to court if they give you any trouble, and not just court, just so it is like legal, and so that you have the law on your side as well. I suffered a hell a lot, honey. Woo! Child, I've seen flames. This guy showed me flames. Yeah. If you have had business partners before, tell me what your experience and how your experience was. Tell me how it is that you handle the issues that arose in your partnership. And yeah, leave your comments down below, and make sure you share, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.